My name is Clara Tauson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Well, hello there,
Okay.
and welcome to Talking Tennis. And of course, it's me for the WTA preview. I only come on when there's WTA to talk about. Review. What year is this? But I've been so excited to do this show almost all year to review the WTA matches of 2025 and see if we can get a shortlist to celebrate the ultimate match of the year. And I cannot think of anyone better to do this with than Vaj Vermani and Mario Bacardi. Mario, I'll come to you first. How are you doing? Welcome. This is your first review show, I believe.
Yeah, my first one. Actually been very busy these past months, but yeah, very happy to be here. I'm excited because, reviewing this amazing season, WTA was full of great matches. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, and Vanch, you've already done one of these for the ATP. So yeah, how are you feeling about doing this again for the WTA?
Yeah, I think it's a really awesome exercise because you get to remember all the great matches, some of which are so earlier in the year you may have already forgotten. And so to revisit them, and then the hard part of, crunching down 20 matches and making a short list of 3 is going to be such a fun task. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, it could end up being 20 matches. I think the ATP one ended up being 10 when we kind of got through it. But yeah, to bring everyone up to speed with what's about to happen, we are going to basically take as long as it takes to go through the year. We're going to go segment by segment. So we'll start with kind of the pre-Australian Open, then do the Australian Open, then do like the Middle East swing in February, then the Sunshine Double and Clay and Roland Garros and so on and so forth. And essentially what we'll do is we'll have a chat about those kind of swings of the year and then decide, well, okay, well, these were the best matches or the best match from that part of the year. Do we want to advance it to the next round to be in consideration for our top 3 matches of the year, which we will do deep dive episodes into, which you can enjoy during December.
How many days do we have for for this?
As many as you can give me, Mario. So that's what we're going to look forward to. Yeah, absolutely. Way too many WTA matches. We're going to give it a try. And as you said, Bunch, we're going to be starting at the beginning of the year. So this is where our memories are the fuzziest, particularly those of us over 30. So we'll see what we can do with this. So, shall we get started, gentlemen?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right. So we're going to do the first 2 weeks of the year first. So to recap the tournaments, the United Cup, the 500 in Brisbane, the 250 in Auckland, the 250 in Hobart, and the 500 in Adelaide. For those who are watching, by the way, I have a giant spreadsheet that I've been compiling through the year, so I can throw other ideas out there if needed. But we'll start with the memories, and we'll go to you first, Vanch, for this one. Any matches from this first couple of weeks of the year to shout out? I'm pretty sure we'll get some in the live chat as well.
Yeah, I'm going to try to think pre-Australian Open. Obviously, you have Madison Keys. winning the 500. You have Clara Tauson, Naomi Osaka. I'm trying to think. United Cup, Katie Bolter, Iga Swiatek. That was a fun match. I don't think it'll end up obviously in our short list, but in terms of like matches to remember and I guess quality of play, that one was pretty good. So that's the first thing I can think of when I think of United Cup.
Okay, Swiatek Bolter. Okay, good start. Mario, what about you?
Yeah, I was thinking about that one for United Cup because I vividly remember myself watching that match, and this for me is important because I think it's pretty hard to do a truly objective standing because there are so many variables to think about. So yeah, I was thinking about that match, but I had, for example, I was thinking, for example, the matches in Brisbane, and now looking back at the draw, there were pretty good ones. Of course, they won't end up in our list, but I was thinking about, for example, Polina Kudermetova doing that great. Her run was particularly fun to watch in that tournament. So for example, the match she won against Samsonova, which is a pretty tough player to beat in these sort of tournaments, that was for me a good one. But yeah, overall I'm trying to think about what can potentially enter our short list, and I don't know, it was a fun week, but probably there wasn't something at that level.
Yeah. Okay. I've got some. Okay. So I'm sorry. We've got some great contributions from Jean and Kirit in the live chat as well. So what I've got written down. So I've got a few different things written down. So from from Auckland, Kirit is very keen on Clara Tauson and Sophia Kenin. Tauson won that one 4-6, 7-6. 7-6, so it's 2 tie breaks. Pretty dramatic match. Obviously, Tauson was kind of hitting top gear around this period and finally showing what she could do. There were a couple of good quality straight sets matches with Swiatek Rybakina, and then Goff beating Swiatek in the United Cup final, but they didn't go 3, so I can imagine that's not necessarily gonna go too deep. Jean's mentioning Kasatkina Stearns in Brisbane, which is also on my spreadsheet. And then from Adelaide, Samsonova Bencic has also been mentioned. And then Putintseva Schneider was bolded as like the match of the week from that week.
That one was great. I remember. Now I remember it. Yeah.
That one. Yeah. But ultimately, I think match of the week from the first week, which I think we all agree when the first match we went to was Swiatek Bolter in that United Cup.
Yeah, I probably guess so.
But that's kind of, we're covering a 2-week period here. So we've already got like 5 decent matches already kind of out this first couple of weeks. It was a really good start. But then the next question is, do we think any of them should advance to the next round?
Probably not, to be honest.
No?
Just because Australian Open is already going to have some really good memorable ones, and then
I tend to agree with this.
I mean, I don't think it matters how long we can basically whittle down lists if we need to. So, like, it depends on
I'll
how.
probably choose one match just to have like a match to beat now going forward.
Probably, yeah. Because like the problem with the Australian Open being so close to the front of the year is everyone's going to be comparing to that. So we always need to put the Australian Open in its own little bubble, as it were. But yeah, okay. So out of the what? Okay, on its own merits, are there any that I think what? Sorry, start again. I think from listening to you guys, these are good matches. They're not necessarily like wow, super memorable matches. Apart from maybe Swiatek Bolter, is that a reasonable assessment, or would you say actually no, there is a couple in there that would be decently memorable?
I don't know. Thinking about the next ones, probably not really.
Yeah,
That's
I think
my
so.
opinion.
I would agree.
Okay. I'm going to, for the sake of it, put Swiatek Bolter in.
Okay.
But I, like you, probably won't necessarily... Like, we could put it into a category of we might need it later type of thing. All right. So, this is what we've been waiting for. Australian Open. So, there's obviously two very, very obvious matches coming from the Australian Open. So, before we think about semi-finals and beyond, was there any matches... I'll come to you first for this one this time, Mario. Were there any matches from the Australian Open from before the semi-finals that you think are worthy of note here?
Okay, so I'm thinking about this one was a good one, I think, between Navarro and Kasatkina, for example. And I don't know, I'm struggling to draw that, so I probably Vekic against Schneider was a good one as well. So probably I'm mentioning these two matches.
You've literally picked 2 out of the 3 matches I have in bold from before the semi-finals. So, yeah, memory spot on. Kiri, obviously a big fan of Kasatkina and Navarro as well. Both epics. Vance, do you want to throw any others in the mix? Not even just kind of go through, but like, oh, I remember this being a good match, because let's use this opportunity to celebrate us having fun and having good memories of tennis. Even if we're not going to make it through.
Like the Kasatkina Navarro is a really good one. Also, Navarro against Starnes, round 1.
I have that as well.
True.
Was really memorable. Actually, Navarro played like 4 straight, 3-setters. But I think the first round and the 4th round really stand out in terms of, really excellent gripping, high quality, didn't know who's going to win, that kind of thing. And then I guess Keys against Rusa is a little underrated, I think, maybe, because, there was some real jeopardy for Madison already, like in that 3rd set. And Rusa tends to play some really good first 2 rounds against good seeds in previous majors. And this one, I think I should give a shout out for that.
Keys Roos, that's not one I have on my list actually, but you're right. In retrospect, that's actually quite significant. I might have to put that on there just for the for posterity, in case I ever find this spreadsheet file again. So we've got some decent ones in there. Again, I'm not necessarily going to be super restrictive by categories. If our entire top 3 for the year all came in the Australian Open, so be it. So out of those matches we just said, Keys Roos, Navarro Stearns, Vekic Schneider, Navarro Kasatkina, are there any that you think would be worthy of consideration for going into the next round? Badosa Kostic was pretty dramatic, Gene, as well, yeah.
I mean, between them, it's always some sort of a dramatic story, also because their body language is always very expressive. So, I think they are both very fun players also to look when, when they are on court, their body language and all of that. So,
okay.
But I don't know.
Okay, so of the ones we've said, are there any that we're like, do we want to keep in the mix to come back to later? Or are they kind of very similar, very nice and dramatic, gives us warm, fuzzy memories, maybe not necessarily like we're going to be talking about them for a long time?
I think maybe I would have said before, like the 4th round with Navarro and Kasatkina, I thought at that time, like maybe it would, like in terms of a narrative, maybe something Emma could repeat more of throughout the year. But I think as time goes on, I can't really say that. But at that time, it felt very dramatic, and I think you knew the winner was going to play Iga, and you kind of thought Iga was going to beat either pretty comfortably, but I'm not really sure. Maybe Keys Rusa just because of the inevitable result. I mean, just because of the final result. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. When you compare with the second week, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, one
I
thing
think
is that I think in that match was probably the only match where Keys was kind of outplayed for a big part of that match. So that was
Right.
kind of interesting. Also, considering what happened next. But of course, this is not what we are looking for.
I feel
So-
like Keith Reese is going to get an honourable mention in our top
Yeah.
three. Like,
And-
when we get to the top three.
Yeah. And
Potentially,
you're
I don't
right,
know.
right? Because the second set was like 6-2 for Rusa. So
Mm-hmm.
that's, yeah. And then there were, some break points for Rusa to like go up a break in the third. So it actually,
Yeah, I think it's big for
Yeah.
the narrative
Yeah.
of the tournament. That's for sure. Okay, I will advance Navarro Kasatkina into the long list.
Okay.
The longer list. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we... I think the next bit kind of starts the next category of instant, no question, has to be in the next round.
Yeah.
Which is the semi-final and the final. Keys against Swiatek, and then Keys Sabalenka. I don't think Sabalenka Bados is really up for consideration. I don't even remember what the score was.
4-2, I think.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, there you
straightforward.
go. Wasn't a contest. So yeah. So basically, I don't think it's a question of these matches moving into the second round, the next round, as it were. But maybe I want to hear from you guys. Like, I'll start with you on this, Vanch. Like, are there any that would be? Are they both even contenders, or is one kind of got a stronger case than the other?
I think you can argue for both. I think they both have a pretty strong case. I think you should start with the semifinal. I think just given right off the bat how well Iga was playing, the Australian Open, the first 5 rounds, and after she wins that first set, you think, wow, he's having to come back from a set down against this version of Iga. And also the way the third set really just played out was just so dramatic. I mean, I definitely think there were more ups and downs, more sliding door moments in the third set of Swiatek Keys than there were in the third set of Swiatek or of Keys Sabalenka in the final, because you also had Swiatek serving for it, having match point on her own serve, and then being up the entire time in the tiebreak until 8-7, and then to see those twists and turns at the end, and then with Keys coming out on top, like it was just such an amazing match. And so for me, I think maybe I would give that one a nod slightly, even though like the final was really epic in its own right, and you had Keys basically playing unplayable tennis from like 5-all, 30-all in the third set to the end. But it just felt much more like a big hitting contest where inevitably it was just going to be Keys. I think the match point save really adds to it, and the fact that you got a final set tiebreak, and just the whole narrative of like coming back from match point down against Iga just seems like such an impossible thing to do. I mean, Iga had never lost from match point up ever in her career, and she's just basically been known for winning those kind of close matches. So I think yeah, until I feel like Keys Sabalenka was more evenly matched across the board, and then Keys just like once she got the final break, it was over. But it didn't really have that same kind of drama of ups and downs in the third, even though the quality was still pretty good. So I think maybe I'm slightly leaning towards the semifinal. Just overall, also narrative-wise, kind of Iga wasn't at her best the next 3 or 4 months, and I think that loss mentally, left something in her mind for sure. So I think from that point of view for Keys, it was very big to win a match like that. And you also had a little bit more contrast of style, so maybe I lean towards that one slightly more, it seems, but there's definitely a case for the final too, I think.
Yeah. Mario, what do you think?
Yeah, okay, so for me, the final had probably the shot of the year, because for me, when I think about that forehand Kiss, found at 5-all, 30-all in the deciding set, I know probably it's not the most spectacular point, but if I have to think about shot of the year, for me, this is a clear contender. At the same time, I'm entering this stream thinking that Keys Swiatek is my match of the year. I don't know if I will change my mind, but this is my mindset entering this show. So for me, I think the semifinal has a stronger case, in my opinion, for all the reasons Vansh said. So, I'd give that one the edge.
Yeah,
That's
think,
pretty clear for me, actually. I have to be honest.
I think of all the matches, these are the ones I most like to talk about. Like, it's certainly out of the two, I think the semi-final's the one I'm more excited to rewatch.
Yeah.
And more because I don't remember as much of it. I think more because I think I missed a lot of it live. I caught the end. I got the third set, but I didn't get the rest of the match, whereas I saw the whole final. But what I did see in that third set was amazing. And it was such an upside down, topsy-turvy, epic match. In so many ways, like, year-defining match, as well as just you had all the drama as well as quality that not many other matches are going to have here. So it's perfect. But having said that, the final, I think it was an interesting match because you had these interesting seesaw of momentum in the final, and then the final set was just so close, and it was a case of, can Madison Keys keep up with this? It actually ended up being that Sabalenka was keeping up with Keys, especially towards the last couple of games. And it was a question of whether Keys could get over the line, and obviously that ends up being one of the best stories of the whole year, was Keys winning the Australian Open. So yeah, they're both in. They're both going to go in like the top tier. I think it's just how many more we need to add to it. Essentially, there was no question there.
Yeah, I still have goosebumps thinking about the Australian Open. I don't know. For me, that was the story.
Yeah.
I think it was a feel-good moment.
I think a lot of Australian Open was feel-good. Okay, which makes it a shame to move on, but we don't want to be here for like 3 hours, so we are going to move on. And okay, let's try not to do too big a chunks of time. Let's go the next 2 weeks of the tennis calendar. So this would be like the Linz 500, the Abu Dhabi 500, a couple of 250s in there. Any standout matches from those tournaments in either of your memories? Come to you first, Vanch.
I think Bencic winning Abu Dhabi was a big result, like just in terms of her arc of being like the comeback player of the year, and coming back, like winning a 500 so soon after coming back to the tour. That was a big result. Her beating Rybakina was, I think, the biggest win there. But in terms of the actual match and quality, I don't think I would really put that one, but more as a story, I think probably it deserves a good mention. And then Linz, that was the title that Alexandrova won, right? So I guess that was also kind of the start of her, finishing the year as a top 10 player. So I guess for both of them, it was individually a pretty good result to win a 500, but can't really think of like one match from those 2 weeks, if I'm being honest.
What about you, Mario?
Yeah, I agree. I think, the Linz final was probably the best match of the week, in my opinion. That was also a great story because it's still, to date, the biggest title of Alexandrova's career. So, it was kind of long overdue as well. So, but yeah, I agree.
She lost all the other 500 finals she played this year.
And so, yeah, I agree with Vansh on these 2 weeks. Yeah. They were very fun to follow, fun matches. But yeah, for me, that's kind of it, considering the aim of this show.
So I'm talking over you. Carry on, Mario.
No, I was saying, considering the aim of this show, for me, that's it.
None of them worthy to move on to even be considered for the next round.
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. There's some good ones in there. Yeah, I've got Alexandrova, I think, had a lot of drama in it, but not necessarily highest quality. I've got Rybakina Jabeur in Abu Dhabi. I remember that being
a good one. Yeah, great match, actually.
Bencic, Rybakina in the semis. Those were decent matches. That was probably like one of Jabeur's last hurrahs. Yeah, that match with Rybakina's final set tiebreak, that was quite dramatic. Those two always seem to have a good battle. But I think, if we have to be have our memory jogged on it, maybe not worth moving through. Okay, but worth shouting about. Hey, good matches. And by the way, like when we're dismissing it, it's not like they weren't good. Like the thing is, we're not trying to make a top 100 matches because you could get excited by 100 matches this year easily, especially the WTA. So let's move on to Doha and Dubai, the back-to-back 1000s. And Mario, you're already making a face, and I don't know whether that's because you're finding it hard to choose between matches that are really good, or finding it really hard to find a good match.
No, I was looking at the Doha draw, and I actually think it was a bit, underwhelming in terms of the matches. I don't really find the match I really would like to mention. For example, Sabalenka, Alexandrova, Noskova, Swiatek, but at this point, I would probably prefer the Linz final if I have to compare in terms of the, the big names, of course, stands out. But I don't know, probably, Dubai was a bit better in terms of the matches I could pick. There are many. For example, Kirstea against Navarro was a great one. Rybakina against Badosa were probably matches I have preferred compared to Doha.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Mario. I think the first match that I think of when I think of those 2 weeks is probably the Rybakina Badosa. Just because there were 6 match point saves and there were there was a 10-8 tie break and then even more match points in the third set before the final set tie break. So that's probably the one that stands out. I guess maybe also Mira coming back from 3-1 down in the third against Rybakina in the semis. Like that's another potential shout out, because then she would obviously then go on to do even more in Indian Wells against the best players. But I think Dubai is better than Doha in terms of matches to remember overall.
I would 100% agree with that. Again, on my spreadsheet, I actually wrote, because I was logging it as it happened, I have written down, I'm not going to necessarily read all of them, but I have got 10 matches from Dubai.
Yeah, Anisimova Kostic is a good one, actually. Did Jean points on it?
Yeah, so Doha, the only 3 matches I wrote down from the whole of Doha were Alexandrova Sabalenka, Swiatek Noskova, and Anisimova Kostic. All really good matches. Otherwise, I wouldn't have written it down. I remember what Iga kind of squeaking through against Noskova. Alexandrova obviously getting that big win against Sabalenka, right at the end in dramatic fashion. Anisimova kind of finding that level that took her to the Doha title against Kostic. And then you've got Dubai, and I am going to read it. So I've got Noskova Schneider, Kenin Kostic, Tauson Svitolina, Navarro Bencic, Stearns Zheng Qinwen, Rybakina Badosa, Mukova Kessler, Mukova Kostea, and then the 2 semi-finals, which I think were both really, really good. Like Andreeva had to come back against Rybakina, and Tauson Mukova I thought was brilliant tennis. But then
there was also the shot of the year from Mukhova, right? Or maybe one of the shots of the year. And
I prefer the last one. Yeah,
but
if I have to choose,
there was one tweener. Yeah, I remember.
What do you mean the last match there, Mario?
The last you mentioned, yeah. So Tauson against Mukova.
Yeah.
Do we want to include that because it has that tweener lob on the baseline shot?
Sure, let's go for it. It was a very enjoyable match.
I agree. I think memorable moments are also important when we have to define, great matches, because of course we can't just think about point by point,
Yeah.
So I agree.
Is Rybakina Badosa also worth putting through? We all seem to remember it quite quickly.
I'd write it.
I'd put it in, actually, because 6 match points, and it was I guess one of those very clutch wins from Rybakina.
Which she got more, there was very up and down on through the year on that, but that was where she was showing what she could do. Was that last 16? I think it was last 16.
Yeah, it was last 16.
Last 16.
So third round, last 16. Cool. Okay, well, I think we've got, so, Dubai gave us a lot to celebrate, and that section of the year. Really good. Kirit throwing out Anasimova, Andreeva.
Yeah, I guess that's Miami, but we'll get to that.
Miami, that's far in the future. Is there any, okay, so we have this 1 week between the Middle East 1000 and the Sunshine Double. I don't think there's anything in there that was memorable. The one match I wrote down that I think had some drama in it was Tomljanovic Shibahara, but other than that, I don't think there's anything from that week that is worth considering.
No.
Definitely not the Merida final.
No, we would lose our minds. So no.
No. We will move on very quickly. All right. We're not going to get to Miami yet, so hold fire, Kirit. Let's go to Indian Wells first, which, I mean, by contrast, even though it's a 2-week 1000, I have 7 matches written down across the 2 weeks rather than 10 from the 1 week in Dubai. So it'd be interesting to see how well we do here. But I don't expect you to guess the 7, but Vanch, as our California resident, West Coast resident, not quite California, West Coast. I'll let you go first on memorable matches from Indian Wells.
I think Madison Keys again in the first week had a really memorable match, I want to say, in Indian Wells. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, Mertens, all those match point saves, but then she ends up winning. And
interesting. I didn't write that one down.
Also against Vekic, right? She came back from a set down. I think I remember that one.
I've got the Vekic one.
Yeah, I think the Vekic one was pretty good. Aside from that, there was also Navarro against Karstea. That was a good one. And I think that was a second round match.
Yeah, those are the 2 matches I've bolded from the week. I think those are the 2 leading contenders from Indian Wells, unless Mario wants to throw any wild cards in.
No, I just want to say that probably between the 2 they played, I kind of prefer what happened in Dubai, even though it wasn't the final breaker. But I think the match was, even more compelling to me. I think Keys, for the first 3-4 months of the year, Keys plays a big role in matches, in the spectacle that has happened on the WTA. So yeah,
Keys was like playing at a level that I was including her with Sabalenka and Swiatek. Like that was how good she was.
Yeah, but she was able to produce, some amazing battles and matches even in round 2, round 3. Everything was pretty spectacular. So yeah, I think those are the matches that stand out the most to me. The Keys matches.
What were your thoughts on the Andreeva matches? Her turn to go back to back against Swiatek and Sabalenka in the semis and the final.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think they were actually somewhat uneven. I mean, the semifinal, I guess. Semifinal again. The first set, I guess, was pretty compelling, pretty dramatic. Then you had a little bit of a drop off. Iga raises her level. The third set was mostly like a mental battle, which Andreeva got the better of. And then I guess the final was sort of like there was that turning point, like midway or like start of the second set where Sabalenka was dominating, but then Andreeva like really settles down, starts using her IQ a lot better, frustrates Aryna, and I wouldn't actually say they were like anything close to Australian Open in terms of in terms of like that drama, high quality. It was more just sort of mental and it was really, really impressive what Andreeva did, but I don't really think they're like standout like top 5 matches of the year or anything, either of those 2, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I was here doing the live show for the final, and I had fun watching it, but I don't know, for me there's something lacking in Yeah.
Yeah. Golf
And Golf
Benches is
Benches
a really
as
good one
well.
that Jean mentions. That was good, I guess.
Yeah, I've got it written down on my long list for this, like top 7 matches from that tournament. You know, another match in that rivalry, kind of mini rivalry that we're having in the first part of the year. Okay, so if we're going to go with, okay, I'm going to try and summarize. You try and, but feel free to correct me if you're wrong, if I'm wrong, like if I've misheard. If we were going to put a match through from Indian Wells into the, we'll come back to that list, it would be Keys Vekic. But then is it worth putting on the, we'll come back to that later list?
Okay.
That's a question.
Yeah, I think it was probably worth mentioning, but I don't know if it's like.
Yeah.
Would you rather be put Keys Mertens in? I mean, I didn't even write that much down, so I obviously didn't see it.
No, okay. Probably let's not do it. Let's choose.
Yeah.
I would, you know, be like that also because I would like to have matches also from different moments of the year a bit. So I would choose between the two. So I don't know if you agree with me on this.
Fine.
Yeah, we can choose between them. Yeah.
Yeah. I would pick Keys Vekic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Fine with that?
I can't be out the story of Keys.
I am not the tiebreaker. I am not the king of the stream. I don't.
No. But I'm okay with that choice.
I'm good with that also because like Keys was the best player the first 2-3 months of the year, even though she didn't play anything in February, but she just kind of continued playing these winning these insanely close matches.
Okay, let's have a look at this. So.
I am already struggling with Miami. Sorry.
Okay, when you say struggling with Miami, Mario, talk to me. What struggling?
There's too much. There's too much in Miami for me.
There's a lot of different matches going on
There's
here.
There's a lot that you could choose from, actually.
Between first rounds and later, and the last stages of this tournament, I don't know. It's very
the first week was really good.
Yeah, Miami, we were spoiled, particularly by Alex Eala.
Yeah.
And Jessica Pegula too, in my opinion.
Gosh, I think that semifinal. I think right away you got to put that. Like,
I agree.
Is that an instant? Like that has to go in the question asked.
So I think so. I would put it in the.
I'm actually going to put this and then ahead of some of the others we're putting into the next stage because that was just so obvious.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And also, if I have, you know, I know that the Eala's run, you know, probably we remember the most loss in terms of, you know, matches of the year. For me, it was like that, and it was also great. You know, for me it was a fantastic match. So I would put it right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
but
good.
It's not the only one.
I've got 12 matches from Miami on my spreadsheet.
There's Raducanu a couple times.
Yeah.
Raducanu Pegula, Raducanu. I mean, there's also Naomi, I guess, against Jasmine Paolini. That was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to read out all the ones I've got. So I've got Mboko Osorio, Ayala Ostapenko, Badosa Mboko, Raducanu Navarro, Kessler Noskova, Osaka Baptiste, Pegula Kalinskaya, Anisimova Andreeva, and then week 2, Paulini Osaka, Swiatek Svitolina, Pegula Raducanu, Pegula Ayala.
Wow, these are honestly these are all so good, but I think Pegula Eala still would be like if you had to pick one. I think
I'm going to say we don't have to pick one, so we can definitely put. I'm putting Pegula Ayala in the no question this is going through category in the same category as the 2 Australian Open matches.
I'd probably go also with Raducanu against Navarro.
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't that also Emma's first top 10 win?
Okay.
Like of her. Oh no, maybe second actually. second overall.
Yeah, she got one in Eastbourne 24.
Yeah. So she beat Pegula in that first round on grass. Yeah.
I'm choosing that one because I really liked how the third set played out, also in terms of break and break back, and how it was never obvious before a game what was going to happen. For me, it was very, very good one. Probably I would mention that, but I don't know. Of course, you gotta.
It's a good one.
You gotta
I'm
say
okay
it.
with that.
That's something I was thinking of.
And
that's the standout one. Yeah.
I am more than happy to put that one through. Are there any other matches from Miami that we want to put through, or are we kind of saying no, those two are a step above the others, even though they were all really, really good?
Yeah, I think those two are probably the top two. Mboko versus Badosa was a good one too, just because later would show Mboko was way better than her ranking, and it would eventually catch up. But yeah, Paulini versus Osaka was also pretty enjoyable. Raducanu Pegula I probably wouldn't mention just because the third set was so one-sided, but
up to that point it was pretty good.
They were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of really good matches again. So I think we've already got, like, if we were doing tournaments of the year, we've already got 3 contenders in Australian Open, Dubai and Miami.
Miami was fantastic for me. Sorry.
It was, yeah.
The final was also quite good. Of course, it's not, we're not mentioning, but it had the good conclusion. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it was like, it wasn't 3 sets, but it was a dramatic second set ending.
I think the first set was pretty good. Yeah.
Let's move on, I would say.
I don't think, though, if we're going to do a Sabalenka Pegula match, that's anywhere near what we should be putting in this list.
No.
Spoilers for later in the show.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for Clay?
Do we got Charleston? We have to cry now. Why?
No.
I'm okay. Okay.
We're fine. So, yeah. All right. So we'll do Charleston and we'll do... I'm just having a look at these other matches. Yeah. So we'll do the weeks from before Madrid. So Charleston, Billie Jean King Cup and Stuttgart, of which Stuttgart had quite a lot of 3-setters, to be honest. 10 of them. Or maybe that's Stuttgart and... No, I'm mixing Stuttgart and Rouen together. That's why. The other indoor clay tournament, so ignore me. It's a kind of a combo of 2 tournaments there. But yeah, so anything from that 3-week period that's standing out to you guys?
Charleston, I guess, again, Pegula like playing some very dramatic quarterfinal, semifinal, final, but I think the semifinal against Alexandrova maybe like potentially stands out just because of all the different ways Pegula had to use her variety to decode Alexandrova in those. And it would also actually be a pretty good rivalry, I think, for the year, like pretty good clashes between them. But I think the semifinal, probably it like stands out in Charleston. For me.
Yeah, for me, it was better than in Miami, even though Miami had 2 tie breaks. I tend to prefer this one. So probably, yes. Stuttgart, I don't know. I was looking at the draw right now, and I'm not really sure. So
would you put this Charleston, Vance, would you agree? Would you put this Charleston match ahead of anything that came out of Stuttgart?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. I think that's fair. Though I do remember it being a bit of a slower time. Stuttgart, I mean, I did circle a couple of Ostapenko matches, particularly her wins against Navarro and Swiatek. But they were kind of very seesaw matches in terms of momentum, and I don't think it was necessarily high quality all the way through.
Not really, in my opinion.
Yeah, not really. I don't think they're,
So, yeah, I'm happy to say that, from this 3-week period, we just look at the Charleston semi-final and move on. So that's simple. Okay, so we'll put that in the come back to it later list.
Also, I guess shout out to Anisimova and Navarro. That was also a good quarterfinal, even though it was straight sets. It was enjoyable.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, I've got that on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'd put the semi-final ahead.
I think when you're speaking that clear, when we're talking that clearly, we know what we want. All right, Madrid. This is a bit like Indian Wells. It's another slow one, I think. I haven't got so many matches.
No.
I've got a couple in bold. But go on. Okay, start with you again, Vancho. While Mario is thinking. Any standouts from Madrid for you?
I guess you had Kostyuk and Sabalenka. I mean, the two tiebreak sets. They're very dramatic.
Two very good tiebreaks.
Yeah. Drama, really high quality.
Certainly,
honestly, that might be the best match in Madrid. Like,
I think
I'm
so.
trying to think, but like, I think so. Like, even though it was straight sets, like it was, it definitely had you on the edge of your seat.
The next best might be Potapova Kenin.
Yeah, or Bencic against Alatmaya was also kind of, for a clay court. It was really fitting. So yeah, but I tend to think that match was, for me, the best, the two tiebreak match between Sabalenka and Kostyuk, because that wasn't a straight sets. It was 2 hours and a half or something. I don't remember. So,
I think that was the match of the tournament. I really think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put it in the come back later list.
238. So I'm in.
What was 38? Sorry.
It lasted 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Yeah.
And it beat and this is also better than their Rome match, right? Because they also played in Rome 176.
I think so.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Gene is putting in Goff Yastremska, and I'm like, yeah, that was I did use that as a reel to explain the tennis scoring system, but
I love it.
I wouldn't necessarily pick it as one of the best matches of the year.
No, not really for me.
No, if you want to find it, it is on the internet. I did make a reel, and I used that match as the example to explain the tennis scoring system.
That's true.
It did have everything, to be fair, that you needed to cover. So, all right. Well, we're moving on from Madrid, which was a little dry, to Rome, where I think we were spoiled. Ironically, maybe more in the first week than the second, but I've got 11 matches from Rome on my spreadsheet. Maybe
I have
you guys
Arango Tomova.
Sorry?
I have Arango Tomova.
Okay, go for it, Mary. You are our Rome resident.
I was there in the stands, so I have a clear memory of that match. And me having a blast watching it. So
you broke up, so I still haven't heard the names.
Arango and Tomova.
Arango Tomova. Okay, first round, right?
Yeah, first round.
I mean, obviously we can put that in as a Mario nostalgia inclusion.
No, it won't be remembered. I just wanted to mention it because I was there and I have a clear memory months after about that match.
It did look like a good score. So did you? What was? So yeah, I can imagine that being an epic match to watch, like 7-6, 5-7, 6-4.
But I don't know, because you know what? When you are there in the stands, things look different. So it's tough for me to judge.
Okay. Tell you what, Vanch, what about you? What are your picks from Rome? Or are you struggling?
No. I think what I remember is Peyton Starnes in Rome.
Yes, she made the tournament.
Because she literally, all her matches against Keys and Osaka and Svitolina, all three are like one after the other after the other. I mean, she almost had nothing left at the second set against Paulini, but I mean, yeah, up until that point, what a great tournament for her. And before that, I guess I mean, maybe I would also mention Schneider and Paulini, just because. Wow, I mean,
yeah,
Schneider was up 4-love in the second set, and Paulini comes all the way back and wins. That was crazy.
That could have changed the whole tournament because you could have had a Schneider Stearns semi-final, and then
yeah,
that would be door open for someone out of Goff and Zhang Qinwen.
Yeah, and then the Goff Qingwen, semi-final was like one of the longest matches of the year, right? 3 hours, 30 minutes plus. I mean, not always like the highest quality, of course, but that's just because they're both like such good movers, and like they both just were gonna. It was just gonna be like scrapping and winning ugly and a lot of long rallies. I think the WTA finals match was definitely better, but still like worth a mention, just like the physical effort of winning that match.
Also, I wasn't on the stream last year, but you guys did that. Not putting the WTA finals final in the top 5 did them dirty, I think. Anyway,
yeah, I know. I really wanted it to be on it, but I think Damien and John were not on board with it.
No, I've very more vehemently disagreed with Damien and John. John was determined to have Blinkova, Rybakina in there.
Yeah, I really thought the WTA finals final was better overall.
Definitely worth it. That was a top 5 match from last year.
Serge Svitolina, I was in a pub with our host, the host of the channel. I remember watching it at the TV there.
Oh, wow,
it was a great
nice.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, other matches I've highlighted from Rome. I'm not going to necessarily like you've got Paris Schneider. Yeah, that's a good one. So matches I've highlighted that don't involve Peyton Stearns. Goff Zhang Qinwen, I think I would include that. I don't care about quality. It was a dramatic match between 2 top 10 players.
Yeah, I would include it actually.
Raducanu joint in the first week. Also Svitolina Baptiste. Those were 2 decent matches as well. But I would say I think if we're going to pick a match from Rome, it has to be one of those Stearns matches, right? Either against Keys, Osaka, or Svitolina.
I think I'm maybe right now leaning slightly towards the Osaka one. Maybe just because like Osaka had been in pretty good form before. She had won the 125 and Stearns, and this was like one of those other matches that you thought like, oh, if Naomi wins this, wow, maybe it could kickstart something for her. And then, but we had so many of those moments, and then when Stearns won it, I mean, you could also make the argument for Svitolina. Like, I think maybe one of the last 2. Like, yeah, I'm down for either. I think they're both pretty.
Yeah, I agree. For once, I'm probably leaving the Keys a little bit behind. For me, these 2 are.
I think these 2 stand more.
Even better.
Okay. All right. I can tie break if you want. I'm going to go with Stearns Osaka. I think I don't. You guys have such better memories of actual matches than I do, but I have that one in bold. I didn't put the one with Svitolina in bold, and I don't know why. So
I think that was more uneven. Like it was some good drama and stuff, momentum swing, but I think all the way through, maybe the Osaka one.
Okay, so that would be the Rome last 16 between Stearns and Osaka. We will put that in.
Yeah, and I agree with the semifinal. I don't care. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't really care about the. So many times after these matches, you have them posting the stats of the winners and unforced error, but I don't think that really does it justice. Not on a clay, especially. Like
for me, the core of our sport is also big battles with a lot on the line. So
yeah,
I think it's great.
Okay. All right, putting that through. All right, is there anything before we move on? We're so close to Roland Garros. I don't really have anything from Strasbourg or Rabat. Do you?
No, honestly, no, nothing. Can't even think of one.
Cool. All right, Roland Garros, which I think is also in the category for candidate for tournament of the year. I have 19 matches.
Yeah.
On my list.
This was a great tournament.
Such a good tournament, and it just got better as it went on. I think so. I think rather than me listing 19 matches, we're going to go with your guys' memories to start off with and whittle them, and hopefully it'll kind of what you'll say will probably be on there. So we'll start with you, Vanch.
Oh man, for the second year in a row, Danilovic Collins.
Yep.
Right away, I just remember that.
That was another overlooked match from 2024. Definitely
Yeah.
top 10 match from 2024.
Yeah, like that was very memorable. I'm just trying to think like early rounds right now, but I guess
Yeah, well,
I
look
guess
at
also Badosa Rusa again, maybe. That was also pretty good.
Yeah.
What else from the early rounds?
For me, Boisson Pegula.
Oh yeah. I guess fourth round.
In the fourth round,
For me, for sure. Yeah, I think that one's very memorable.
I think the fourth round in general was so good because it wasn't just Boisson Pegula in that fourth round.
Yeah, Rybakina Swiatek was
Rybakina
good.
Swiatek, I think, is very important to mention.
And Svitolina Paolini.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because I know that it ended up, that way. But actually, especially the first two sets, the quality was very, very good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Gene's
Even
got one of my
Sabalenka and Samova for a 5-3, it was a lot closer than that. So that was also a very good match.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that match? Sorry, Vanch, I was talking over you.
Sabalenka and Samova, which obviously we'll get to later as well throughout the year. But yeah.
Yeah. Gene saying Keys Kennan, which is also on my list. Right, yes, we've got a lot of options here. And that's all from like the middle part of the tournament, round 2 to round 2, round 3, round 4. Okay. Are there any of these things that we've just said that would hurt to not keep in consideration?
I think the Rybakina Swiatek probably needs to go on through to the next round. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Now, do we want to put that in? We'll come back to that, or is this a no? We definitely have to have it.
I think it's like a definite. I think, yeah.
What was that, Mario?
We can go with this one for me.
Yeah.
Solid pick. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Boisson Pegula also is also really stands out, but
yeah, I'm happy to have Boisson Pegula in as I come back to consider this match.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, throw that in. Did we want to put Danilovic Collins again in the come back to that, or was that just a fun addition to like, fun memory?
Well, just a fun addition, fun to remember, but I don't think, I don't think it'll go through.
Cool. All right. I'm going to be controversial, maybe.
Go.
What about the end of the tournament? Sabalenka Swiatek and Goff Sabalenka are two memorable matches. Sabalenka Swiatek was memorable for the first two sets.
The first two sets really were very good, but
for me it was better.
Ruined it. Sorry?
I prefer this one compared to the final.
I'm going to make the case for the final.
I think I would slightly lean for the final too, just because, like the story of it, and then also the...
Yeah. For me, that match is, you've got the top two seeds, and at that time, top two in the world, like two best players in the world. Swiatek hadn't quite found that form yet, although she was getting there. Head to head in a Grand Slam final in a dramatic match. That first set was crazy, and then the third set it looked like Sabalenka might be coming back, regardless of what we think about quality.
No, it's not that. I have to be honest. I had something that day, so I watched it on replay. So probably missing. Compared to watching the semifinal, I watched it live in the moment. So probably I remember also my emotions. Better. So no, I agree. Yeah, that's right. You made the case.
Right.
Yeah,
but
and then
I do
playing such a smart match in the wind, and then Sabalenka, her ability to just frustrate Sabalenka, and then Sabalenka also came back in the third set, so that was added to the drama, and she almost broke back in the final game. Goff had to save 2 break points. I think it definitely had more ingredients.
That's right.
Overall. But yeah.
But I will say that I think that had the quality of that first 2 sets carried on into the third and the semi-final, slam dunk in the match of the year conversation between Sabalenka and Swiatek. Which is probably why I would probably put it on the come back to later list as well.
Okay.
Like Sabalenka Swiatek, you have to always look at when they play.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first 2 sets were really good in that match. So that had we even gotten 80% of that for the rest of the way through, I would have really considered it.
And honestly, I don't think the third set was that bad for a bagel. It was Iga level dropped. Saba was insane. And Iga just didn't have time to get back in the match. It was just her resets took too long.
Yes, and ended up helping her also for the rest of the year, even though she ended up getting pickled.
Although I will probably give the Rybakina match more credit for that.
Yeah,
I think that was the match that gave her a lot more belief.
Probably. I don't know. Probably both. I don't know. I think both were kind of important matches in some way, you know?
Yeah. Also in that match, for Iga to come back from a set in a break and like change her return position, that was very key. Like to coming back and winning, like just tactically, the things she did against Rybakina, because Rybakina was in really good form at that time. She had just won Strasbourg. She had just won 6-2, 6-2 against Ostapenko in the third round, like playing some really good tennis. So that was, it was a very important win, I think.
Right. Okay, I'm going to do this next bit as a 3-week block. We're going to move on to grass. We are now halfway through the season. Hopefully that means we're halfway through the stream. We will see. Right. Any matches from the grass court warm-ups that you guys want to talk about? I have one.
I have one I think we're all thinking I think we're all thinking the same thing.
That one
I have one where somebody saved 11 match points in this match.
I think we might have to put this one straight through. Not even in. They will come back to that later one. And
yeah, but Eala joint was great too. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also Sabalenka, Rybakina, Berlin. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Sabalenka, Rybakina in Berlin.
As well.
Yeah.
You know, for me, there's one match out of every tournament.
And then, of course, there was the Mertens match with the 11 match points.
Oh yeah, that's Alexandrova one.
For me, that was
wow.
I don't know. I was in disbelief.
All the 11 match points saved. Yeah, it was.
That was the semi-final, right? Was that the final?
Yeah, semi-final.
Semi-final, yeah.
Okay, we'll put Mertens Alexandrova. Was that Stuttgart? No, it was Rosmalen.
Yeah.
Rosmalen, yeah. I think there's one clear winner every week. Like if you go to the 3 weeks, like
I agree.
One match.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. So semi-final. Sabalenka Rybakina was the one I was like,
straight away.
You have to look at that.
Straight away, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Also, because Sabalenka was on that crazy tiebreak streak, and that like could have ended right there.
Yeah, I'm putting that in the. We're not even coming back to that. That's going in the top tier list.
Sure.
Could you give a play Townsend on this grass court?
No, I think that's US Open, but yeah.
US Open, okay. Eala joint, yeah, and then this your clear winner from the week before the Eastbourne final.
What a match! What a final set! Oh,
I'm happy to put that on. Come back later.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say one of the most dramatic finals you'll get all year.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that was simple enough. Really, really good. Just like standout matches. Yeah, lots of crazy match point saves as well. So, Kira wants us to make sure we remember Anisimova versus Zheng.
Queens, right? Yeah.
That was a Queens, yeah. I don't have that written down. I think it might have been straight sets, but
Queens had that fantastic story, but for me, I don't think there's one match we can really pick from that run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. All right. And now we come to Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I think let's crack on with Wimbledon. So I have 19 matches written down. Not as enthusiastically as the Roland Garros list, because there's a lot more bold on my Roland Garros list. But there's still some matches in there that I thought were pretty decent. So in terms of trying to find matches that were good. So there is one obvious one here from the whole of Wimbledon. So maybe before we get to semi-finals and final, same with the other two slams that we've done. So look before semi-finals. Anything standing out to you guys? Vanch clearly does not. So Mario, I'm relying on you.
I think the first one I want to mention is written in the title. I think Eala Tauson, was it? No, was it US Open, that one?
That might have been US Open. Eala played
Wimbledon.
She was playing Krejcikova at Wimbledon. She was in like the opening match on the Tuesday.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay. As I haven't said anything. Okay. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I have to be honest, and I really enjoyed the quarterfinal. I think the contrast of style was great to watch for a second week at the Grand Slam between Sabalenka and Sigmund. And I think we have another Keys against Ruse, which is kind of a good one.
Yes, I've got that one.
Yeah, I got that too.
So probably I'm picking these two matches for different reasons.
Yeah, so matches that were before the semi-finals at Wimbledon.
Yeah, I really like the Sigmund Sabalenka one. That's good.
Yeah, I mean that was such a memorable match for so many reasons.
Yeah. I guess also Aryna Sabalenka, if I had to choose one match, I mean two matches really from her. So obviously the semi-final and then the fourth round against Noskova.
Yeah, fourth round with Noskova. That was a fun match because that got quite tight in places, and there was some quite good hitting with them. Mario?
Yeah, for me this is a tournament. Even though it's a Grand Slam and the occasion is big, probably it's a tournament where I prefer this match against Noskova compared to the semi-final.
Oh, interesting.
For me, yes. I don't know. Probably I'm also... I don't know. It was great also, the semi-final, for sure. It was also great because there was a moment where you'd think Sabalenka was getting it. And then something happens and Anisimova play great tennis. I still vividly remember also the match point. So yeah, that was great. I think the only match we have to mention if we think about semifinals and final.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there was only one match worth mentioning from the last three, but I just quickly in terms of the rest of the tournament, I have a soft spot for Pavlyuchenkova or Osaka. I thought that was a decent battle.
Yes.
Between those two. I know a couple of people who were very enthusiastic about Bencic Cocciaretto going to that deciding tiebreak.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think this Aryna Sabalenka match. But I do think Aryna Sabalenka had something special about it, not just for the story, maybe for the story of Aryna Sabalenka kind of starting to show that she was competing with the best in the world at this point. This was when we did. I interviewed Gil Gross on the last episode of WTA Weekly of the year, and I asked him what was his top 3 matches of the year, or like which matches we should consider. And he said the Australian Open semi-final, the Australian Open final, and this match, the semi-final. So this is what Gil Gross would pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it was good,
but not that good.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if I would have it number 3 though of the year, but it was good. I definitely would. I'll be happy to have it through.
Number 3. I think you kind of need to have it 3, but maybe not necessarily top 3. Definitely want to come back to some of the ones we've said before as well. So semi-final there. Anything else from Wimbledon you want to highlight, Vanch, before we move on?
I guess Bencic against Andreeva, 2 tiebreak sets.
Oh yeah, that was decent. That was a good match.
yeah, I think it was pretty decent, and
I'm back.
Andreeva hadn't dropped a set until that point, and she was I think a lot of people were anticipating that maybe we would get Andreeva and Swiatek again. It's because Andreeva was in good form the first 4 rounds, but it just kind of really showed her class in the tie breaks and was a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, it was good.
I think, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think Wimbledon, I think, is a little bit overshadowed by Australian Open and Roland Garros. I don't necessarily think it's remembered as well as it should be, but when we're kind of going through this, oh no, that was good, that was good, that was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I certainly had good fun at Wimbledon this year, and not for the reasons that everyone thinks. Yeah, that was. So yeah, I think we're kind of there. I mean, I don't want to say rush through, but I appreciate we've been going for over an hour. We've used a lot of our energy on just half the year, so we're not necessarily going to go deep dive into matches. We'll probably do that when we kind of narrow matches down. But we're basically saying they're all good. It's just degrees of good at this point. And
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure, and that's why I think now we have to skip a few tournaments.
Yeah, we're getting into the second half of the year where we might be struggling a little bit more.
Yes.
Starting with, so we're heading to the North American hardcourt season.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Yes, I think we can skip the clay court tournaments, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing there that was memorable at all. So, okay. It's all going to kind of come through in one big lump. So we'll start with you, Vanch. Is there anything from the City Open in DC or that week that stood out to you that is worth keeping in consideration?
Yeah, I think the DC semifinal between Fernandez and Rybakina, that should definitely be considered because it's very rare to have 3 tiebreak sets. And Rybakina was serving for the match, and there were only 2 breaks in the entire match. They both came in the second set. And the drama was crazy. Fernandez, obviously, for her to win the tournament was a big thing. And there was also the Pegula match, but I think the Fernandez match, I think the Rybakina match is easily above it. And the contrast of styles was great and very, very good match.
Is that a keep in consideration, or is that straight through, don't even bother thinking about it kind of match?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably have it. Yeah, because I guess I would consider it, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it in consideration. Because I would agree with that. Like, it was definitely special. So many tie breaks. It was so dramatic. Match point saves. Yeah, you've got to keep looking
What do you
at
think, Mario? Should it be considered?
Yeah, we can. But, these are 2 tournaments, both this one and Canada, where I have 2 clear favorite matches, which are a little bit shadowing the rest ones.
Yeah.
So
I was going to take Canada and Cincinnati together.
Okay, it's fine.
Rather than DC and Canada. Because Canada and Cincinnati kind of overlapped.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and they're obviously the 1000. So, let's start with Canada and Cincinnati. So, Mario, what are the matches that are overshadowing things for you from these tournaments? And let's be clear, I think Canada's probably got more memorable stuff than Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree. For me, one that I'm really remembering is the semifinal between Boko and Rybakina. I feel like it was a fantastic match. Also, considering how good and strong mentally Boko was in this match, and for me, it's shadowing a bit the final. I think this one was better. Of course, the first set was not that compelling, but what happened after, the last 2 sets, very close, and Boko really being able to not only go toe to toe with Rybakina, which was in great form, but also saying the last word. For me, it was a memorable one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, no notes really. The Boca Rybakina for sure is like extremely, like easily the standout number one.
Is
of
it
that,
standout? Okay, I'm going to put it straight through then.
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to put it
honestly,
in tier 2, not
because-
tier 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as far as the
tier 1 now.
Mboko thing goes, yeah, it's definitely overshadowing the final. But there were some other good matches also this week. You know, like there was the Keys Muhova. That was enjoyable. Very good.
Yeah, I've got 3 matches highlighted from Canada, and that's the 2 matches we've said: Mboko Rybakina, Keys
Golf
Mukova.
Collins also, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have Golf Collins, but yeah, ring me bells. The other one I had was Osaka Samsonova, which Maitland also hasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Actually, very important for Naomi, that one. To save the match points and come back.
Yeah, that was important for her kind of her North American hardcourt swing in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are good. Do we want to keep any of those in kind of the consideration to come back to list?
I don't know. Now I have clearer idea compared to when we started, because when we started we were really mentioning matches. Now I'm comparing with those we have chosen, so I don't know.
I think no.
I think the way I'm looking is I'm looking at these matches in isolation and kind of going, and then I'll compare them later, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like it's more of a, in theory, this could be good in a vacuum.
Yeah.
But even then, it could be. It's not enough. Like,
yeah, probably Keys Mukova. We can.
Yeah, we can think about that.
Take it.
Okay, cool. We'll think about that.
Yeah,
and
for
then
me, I mean, Canada clear winner Mboko Rybakina, and DC one clear winner Eala and Rybakina.
And one clear winner in Cincinnati, right?
I think so.
Yes.
And that is, of course, Keys versus Lees. Oh no, wait, sorry. I mean, well, that was a good match. Sabalenka Raducanu.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm just checking something about Keys Mukova. Yeah, cool. That is a 16 match.
I also thought actually the Cincinnati final was a little underrated. I know it was straight sets, but that was a very good match between Swiatek and Paulini. Actually, really liked it.
Sabalenka Paulini.
Or I mean, Swiatek Paulini, right?
Swiatek Paulini. Why? Yeah, wrong year, Nick. Yeah, Swiatek Paulini. Why would I forget a Swiatek title? Yeah, Swiatek Paulini. Yeah, that was interesting because Paulini was just.
I wouldn't have it on the list, but I just I just thought it was a good match.
I'll put Sabalenka Raducanu on the. We'll come back to that list.
Yeah.
What round was that again? Was that third round?
It was like the third round. Yeah.
Third round.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Starting to fill this notebook up. And then there was literally nothing from the week before the US Open in Monterey or Cleveland.
Yeah, no, not really.
No.
I mean, maybe the final in Guadalajara. No, not Guadalajara. What was the tournament the week before?
Monterey.
Monterey. Yeah. I was blanking, but maybe the final there. I guess. Maybe Schneider and Alexandrova. Schneider winning 6-4 in the third, but yeah.
Worth thinking. I don't think I'm going to include it.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll go in the But just I guess it's a good match.
All right. So US Open time. Mario is not looking forward to this. Definitely fewer matches. This is probably the one that I have the fewest to choose from.
This one also had a very good semi-final night.
Yeah, the two semifinals right away were both excellent.
Yeah. The semifinals were the highlight of the tournament. You've also got
Tauson.
Krejcikova Townsend, Vondrousova Rybakina as well in the fourth round.
It was a good one.
Yeah. Eala Tauson.
Eala Tauson, yeah, round 1.
Mm-hmm.
Tomjanovic, round 1 and round 2.
Oh yeah, round 1. Yeah.
Round 1. There were a lot of people who were at the time of the US Open saying that was their favourite match of the tournament.
Oh really? Ahead of Eala Tauson? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Eala Tauson was good. Goff Tomjanovic, Krejcikova Townsend, Vondrousova Rybakina. I'd say those are the main standout matches.
Yeah.
From this tournament. Any that we would like to keep in
I guess
consideration?
Mukova Kostyuk maybe round 4.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, that was great.
Round 4 was pretty solid. All the round 4s for these Grand Slams have been pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's true.
Goff and Osaka did not live up to the hype. That's for sure. So no.
No, it did not.
No.
We weren't expecting it to, I don't think.
But yeah, definitely the 2 semis, I guess. Both of them. Very memorable.
Yeah, Sabalenka Pegula was so good. Anasimova Osaka was so good.
Yeah, both were great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got ourselves about 7 matches here. So I guess it's like any you want to. So are there any that you think those are a cut above, or any that don't quite match up to the others but were still good? Try and narrow it down. And basically, like, we now need to pick like what's going through from these 7 US Open matches. And it can be all 7. It can be just 1. It can be none.
I'm fine with putting both the 2 semis and nothing else. But
2 semis?
I think so. I'm thinking the same.
Mm-hmm.
For all the reason, all great matches, but when the occasion is bigger, I think these matches become more important in the context of the matches of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're not considering Eala Tauson.
I mean, it was really great, really dramatic, but I think we can just because it was. Yeah.
We can, but I think is enough of an answer for me. Very good. I know there's a lot of people who loved Krejcikova Taylor Townsend. I think that was a great for the second set drama. Not a lot else.
I agree.
Totally agree.
I'm on this.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be top 3 matches of the year.
Agreed.
Which is probably where we've lost a lot of our audience.
True.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. We are almost done. We are 3/4 of the way through the year. And to be honest, the rest of it shouldn't be that complicated because we're now into the Asian swing, and this is where I started to kind of lose track of things.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
we've lost a spectator
and a contributor as well.
Yeah. Can we say Paolini's Svitolina from Billie Jean King Cup soon?
Yeah.
For me, that was great.
Oh yeah, I agree. That was an awesome match.
There's no Italian bias in there at all.
Okay. For me, it was even better than French Open, if I have to be honest.
Oh yeah, this is definitely better than their French Open match.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, yeah, we'll put that in consideration then. Do we want to also consider Swiatek Alexandrova in the Seoul final?
Yeah,
I'd do it. I would do it.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, just making notes. It was a semi-final of the Billie Jean King Cup, which was Paolini's.
Yeah, semi-final.
Mm-hmm.
So final. We're entirely skipping over Guadalajara. Sorry, team. Congratulations to Iva Jovic, who won the tournament. All right. So then after that week, we were into Beijing and Wuhan and that kind of section of things. And yeah, any from those 1000s? I mean, there's one obvious one from there, but
I think two come to mind from Beijing.
yeah.
Paulini
Yeah.
and Paulini and
Paulini
Anisimova quarterfinal,
Anisimova.
and then semifinal Noskova Pagula.
Yeah, I've got Noskova Pagula. What was the Paulini one? Sorry, Vanj.
Paulini and Anisimova quarterfinal.
Yes. Oh, that was really good.
That was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That was great.
I've also got Goff Fernandez from Beijing.
Oh yeah, that was good too. So was I guess Goff Beijing? I mean, no, Goff Beijing, Goff Bencic, I guess again. But
Yeah, Goff Bencic was good. Cartel Andreeva was dramatic.
Guys, I gotta go.
That's fine, Mario.
So, I want to know the final stand. No,
we'll figure it. We're not going to decide. Yeah, you can watch this back from this point and tell us how we did.
Okay. I'll do this way.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Mario. Sorry we overran.
Bye.
All right.
All right, cool. Yeah, so from Beijing, I really can think of those two. I think are stand out: the Anisimova, Paulini, and Noskova Pagula.
I would, if we're going to pick one match from Beijing, I'd go with Amanda Anisimova against Paulini.
I would too. Yeah, also because Amanda won the tournament and everything. So yeah, I would go with that.
That was a quarterfinal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, for me that was even higher quality than the second.
Cool.
Sure.
And then Wuhan. There's only one. I mean, there's some good matches in there. Rybakina Yastremska, Rybakina Alexandrova, Paulini Bencic, but Pegula Sabalenka.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think that easily number one.
Yeah, easily. Such a good match. Yeah. No question there. Straight through, I think.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not sure which tournament Giacomo Mertens happened in, but Kirit's throwing that one out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's either Beijing or Wuhan.
I actually don't remember that match at all. Don't think I watched it.
Sorry, Kirit. Yeah. Pegula Sabalenka is so good. That's going through. It's Guadalajara, Giacomo Mertens. Yes, that makes sense why I couldn't remember in Asia.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of that tournament, to be honest.
I think I may have caught that match, but I think if I'm going to pick a match from that tournament, it would be Djokovic Kasatseva.
Yeah, that's the one which you saved match point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. And then we come to the end of the Asian swing. We won't before WTA finals. And for me, there was one really, really memorable match, and that was Bencic Mukova.
Agreed. Yeah, Bencic Mukova.
Tokyo,
yeah.
I think.
I mean, Bencic Mukova, and I guess Bencic Paulini.
Yeah, that was okay. That was decent. That was dramatic.
Yeah. Oh, but I think that was just important for Paulini to secure her qualifying, right?
Yes, that was to get her into the WTA finals.
Then what tournament was that? That was Ningbo, I think, right? Yeah,
that was Ningbo. Yeah.
For the
Ningbo in Tokyo. Trying to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to lean towards Paulini. This is where I'm getting a bit fuzzier. So.
Right.
Yeah, Pauli Bencic and Ningbo quarterfinal. Yeah, I'll put that in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Vanch, we are at the 90-minute mark. WTA finals. We've kind of done this at a bit of a breakneck pace. So if there's anything you like, wait a minute, Nick, we've skipped over this match. Please tell me.
No, nothing before that. I think I'm happy to go to WTA finals now.
Okay. WTA finals I thought was relatively decent once it got going. but I think
But I guess yeah, if there's like a standout match, I don't know if there'll be one like that would go in my top 3 for the year. But like maybe Anisimova Sabalenka
I
semifinal.
would pick
Maybe
Anisimova Sabalenka.
I think that's the clear one. I think if I'm being honest, I think that was better than. I mean, I really liked the first 2 sets of Anisimova Swiatek also, but I think it fell off a little bit in the third for me. Whereas the Sabalenka Anisimova didn't. Like that level was very high still.
A bit like with that Roland Garros semi-final.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd go for this. If I had to pick one, I'd go Sabalenka Anisimova semifinal.
Okay.
On the whole week. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's the one.
We've made it. We got through the year, Vanch. I know we kind of sped up that, like we did the first half of the year in an hour and the second half of the year in half an hour. So it was a bit of a breakneck pace.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the matches in the second half of the year were less good. It just means that we need to use our energy for actually whittling these matches down.
Right. Narrowing it down was going to be like, how many do we have now on the short list? I mean,
all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back over the to be considered matches before we look at our main list.
Okay.
If you hear anything that Vanch, that you think, hang on a minute, that was in the to be considered, I thought it was a straight through, please tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to say, like, it's this match or this match. Sabalenka Bolter or Navarro Kasatkina?
So I have to pick one?
Swiatek Bolter United Cup or Navarro Kasatkina Australian Open?
Oh, if I had to cut one.
Yeah, pick one. You pick one to stay.
I think I'll cut the Swiatek Bolter.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that one means that. Hang on. I just want to see how many matches I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22. There's about 27 matches on here. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're going to try and whittle these down. All right. Pick one from Dubai. Tauson Mukova or Rybakina Badosa?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, I will allow ties. If I do an either or, you think it's a tie, I can't choose, then we will revisit.
I think the Rybakina Badosa was more dramatic in terms of the match points and all that, but I like as a clear watch, I love the Tauson Mukova more. So it just depends what you.
Yeah, it depends on what you value here. That is tough. The Carolina Mukova fan inside of me is obviously going to include. And Tauson has that.
It's okay. I think we can go for that one. Like I think
we go for that.
Yeah. We can go for Tauson Mukova. I'm happy to put that.
Okay. Do we? Okay. Sunshine double choice. Keys Vekic or Raducanu Navarro? So Keys Vekic Indian Wells, Raducanu Navarro Miami.
Ooh. I honestly like Raducanu Navarro. Yeah.
I would pick that as well.
I'm happy to put that there. Yeah.
I think we were too enthusiastic about that. Not too. Okay. Clay season. Charleston semi-final Pegula Alexandrova. Madrid quarterfinal Sabalenka Kostyuk.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's too difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I guess maybe slightly the 2 tie breaks, Sabalenka.
Yeah, I would probably. I think the third set between Pegula and Alexandrova was brilliant, but the first 2 was like they were both 6-2 sets. They were good 6-2 sets, but we knew where they were going.
I think Kostyuk, Sabalenka. Yeah,
we'll keep that.
I think so.
Pick a Rome match: Goff Zheng or Stearns Osaka.
Stearns Osaka. Ooh. Maybe Stearns Osaka. Like the whole tournament was just like
I'm leaning that.
I think so. Yeah.
Pick an RG match: Boisson Pegula or Sabalenka Swiatek.
I think Sabalenka Swiatek.
Picking that. cool. Pick a grass court match. Mertens Alexandrova or joint Eala?
I'd go for joint Eala.
Cool. Pick a Wimbledon match. Sabalenka Siegemund or Anisimova Noskova?
Ooh.
They're both good for different reasons because Sabalenka Siegemund had a lot more kind of elements to it. Anisimova Noskova was just a straight up battle.
Yeah.
Noskova
and Anisimova was just like a great opportunity for both, and you legitimately didn't know who was going to win. Whereas like Siegemund Sabalenka, you kind of thought, okay, yeah, Siegemund is, causing some more. Yeah, but at the same time, the match was really compelling. So this might be the toughest choice so far, actually.
Shall we leave that? Say it's a tie.
I'll say it's a tie, but I don't think it's going to end up impacting our top three at all. So
Okay.
Sure.
I'm going to give you 3 matches for this one. So this is US North American hard court swing. Actually, is that fair? I'm just going to do that. Hold on. I'm just going to tick some. Is that fair? Because that's going to be really tricky to do. Okay. I will allow 2 winners from this if needed.
Okay.
Or a tie of all 3. Fernandez Rybakina DC, Keys Mukova Montreal, Sabalenka Raducanu Cincinnati.
Oh. Wait. You said DC semifinal. Yeah. The Mboka one is straight throw, right? So we don't have to
that's
worry
straight
about
in.
that. Yeah. Okay. I kind of like the Fernandez Rybakina.
Probably more than the other 2.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think the DC semifinal.
I think Sabalenka Rybakina is worthy of thinking about, but I would probably lean the same way as you.
Yeah.
All right. One or both. The US Open semifinals.
I'm happy to put both for now and then decide later.
Cool. Okay. This happened in the same week within like hours of each other. Paulini, Svitolina Billie Jean King Cup. Swiatek Alexandrova Seoul.
Sheesh, I think both.
Okay. We're doing well here. All right. 2 Asian swing matches. Anisimova Paulini Beijing. Paulini Bencic Ningbo.
I think the first one.
First one. Cool. Okay. There's some I've skipped over. Trying to find ways of narrowing it down. Do we want to advance? Do we want to keep the Linz final in the mix?
Probably not. No.
Or the matches I've just listed?
No, I think I'm happy leaving that out.
I'm going to leave that as well. And then Anisimova Sabalenka WTA finals compared to what we've just said. Keep that in the mix.
Yeah, I think we can keep it.
Keep it in the mix. All right, we're doing well here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's like a top 16 here.
Okay.
And by the way, the winner of this goes into the top 10. Like I've got 9 straight 3 matches. This is to get to the 10th one.
All right.
So we have a top 26 matches of the year, guys.
All
right.
WTA is so much harder than ATP this year. ATP we just had like 10, and then we shorted this down to like.
Okay, so I think. All right, I'm going to say a match, and you tell me yes or no if you could see it being a top 3 contender.
Okay.
Okay, going back chronological order. Navarro Kasatkina Australian Open.
Nah.
Tauson Mukova Dubai.
No, I don't think so.
Raducanu Navarro Miami.
Maybe, but ultimately probably not.
That's still better. Okay, we'll put a maybe.
Okay.
Sabalenka Kostic Madrid.
Maybe, but probably not. Probably not. Actually, no. I'm going to say
Change
no.
that to a no.
Yeah.
Stearns Osaka, Rome.
I want to. I mean, I would say maybe. For now.
Sabalenka, Swiatek, RG.
No, I don't think so because of the like the third set.
Joint Eala, Eastbourne.
No, I don't think so.
Sabalenka, Siegmund, Wimbledon.
No.
Anisimova, Noskova, Wimbledon.
No, I don't think so.
Fernandez, Rybakina, DC.
Actually, now that I think about it, Noskova. You said Noskova and Anisimova?
Yeah.
Was that what you said? Okay, Noskova and Anisimova. Yeah. Actually, I'd probably consider that. I would
keep that in. Cool.
I say maybe, but
maybe. Okay.
Maybe I'll say maybe.
Fernandez, Rybakina, DC.
Sure.
Keep it in.
Yeah.
Sabalenka, Pegula, US Open semi-final.
I'm gonna say yes.
Definite yes. Not even a maybe. Definite yes.
I'll say yes. Yeah.
Was it a definite yes for Fernandez, Rybakina?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher your answers.
Okay.
Is it definite yes or maybe?
I'd say maybe. Not definite.
Anisimova, Osaka, US Open semi-final.
Yeah. Yes.
Paolini, Svitolina, Billie Jean King Cup.
Probably no.
No. Swiatek, Alexandrova, Seoul final.
Maybe.
Anisimova, Paolini, Beijing.
I'll change the Billie Jean King Cup to maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Changed.
What are we at now?
We'll do a couple left for the yes, no, maybe. So Anisimova, Paolini, Beijing.
Yeah, I mean, you as in can you think number 3?
Yeah.
That's
No. Could you see it as a top 3 contender? Yes or no, or maybe.
I'll say yes.
Okay. Because there's a scale here. Yes, definite, maybe, or no, definitely not.
Okay, so then maybe.
Maybe. And then finally, WTA finals, Anisimova, Sabalenka.
I'll say maybe again.
Yeah, keep that as a maybe. Okay, we have eliminated some.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we actually have eliminated. We if we wanted to do a top 20 matches, we can now do a top 20 matches.
Oh my gosh, we were supposed to pick 3. Okay.
No, I'm not saying we actually do. I'm just saying that that's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. All right. Keep in mind some of the matches I've just said. There's a lot of yeses and maybes in there. I'm going to move to the top 9. This is like the 9 that we said, get these straight in. Are there any that we want to reconsider? Either kind of going, maybe not, or was it that good, or did I misunderstand putting it straight through? So I haven't said any of these matches yet in my run through. I kind of ran them straight into immediate. The ones I've just said were we were going to come back and think about them again. These are, we don't need to, we know they're contenders for the top 3.
Okay.
And you tell me if we think we need to think again, or you think, if you need to think again about any of these. Keith Swiatek, Australian Open.
Keith Swiatek, Australian Open is definitely yes.
Keith Sabalenka, Australian Open. Pegula, Eala, Miami.
I'll say yes for now, but then we'll have to see later. Yeah.
Pegula, Eala, Miami.
Sure, yes.
Swiatek, Rybakina, Roland Garros.
Yes.
Goff, Sabalenka, Roland Garros.
Yes.
Sabalenka, Rybakina, Berlin. Bit of a wobble there.
Yeah, bit of a Maybe.
Mm.
But no,
Anisimova-
probably not. I'm going to say no. I'm going
No?
to say no, actually. I'll eliminate that. Yeah.
Anisimova Sabalenka, Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And Boko Rybakina, Montreal.
Yes.
Pegula Sabalenka, Wuhan.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got one of that. We're thinking again about the Berlin match, but okay. So there's 8 in there, with the 9th being the Berlin match. So of the ones we kind of went through and we said yes, no, maybe from the potential top 3 contenders, are there any that you would put in the same category as the matches I literally just read out? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, probably not. I think we have the list.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like in the other? Okay, yeah, I guess we're.
My previous ones, like when we were talking about, so like the ones we said maybe yes or no to. So the ones I just read about, the AO semi-final, the RG matches, the Montreal, Wuhan, Wimbledon, Miami. I'm going to read these matches out, and you tell me if you think that they are in the same category or could be seen as being in the same category as those matches.
Okay.
Or whether they're more in the category of the Berlin match. Raducanu, Navarro, Miami.
Yeah, more in the category of the Berlin.
Stearns, Osaka, Rome.
Yeah, same thing.
Anisimova, Noskova, Wimbledon.
Same, yeah.
Fernandez, Rybakina, DC.
Okay, I'd be happy to move that up, actually.
Move it in. Sabalenka, Pegula, US Open.
I can move that up, yeah.
Anisimova, Osaka, US Open.
I can move that up too.
Paolini, Svitolina, Billie Jean King Cup.
I can put it more in the Rybakina Sabalenka category, yeah.
Swiatek, Alexandrova.
Same thing, yeah. I can put it more in that category too.
Anisimova, Paolini, Beijing.
I can move that up.
Cool. And Anisimova, Sabalenka, WTA Finals.
I can move that up also, and then we can compare the.
Okay, cool. I think we're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
We are actually getting there. So we're slowly whittling this down.
Yeah.
We're getting there. So yes, make sure some of this is going to be in the wrong order, but I'm just going to make sure that I've got everything written down here correctly. Both US Open semi-finals.
It just shows how awesome this season was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if none of these get picked, it's really just because there were too many options.
Yeah, that is for sure. Okay. I've got the wrong way around there. Sabalenka versus Anisimova. Okay. Cool. So, all right. I think we're getting there. So, yeah. Is there a hands down match of the year for you? Yes or no?
I think the Swiatek Keys. I think the more I think about it, the more I still keep going back to that.
I'm leaning that as well. So should we just say 100% that is going to be top 3?
Yes. I think 100%.
We have our first one in the top 3.
Yeah, I think we can pencil that through.
Cool. I suspect John's going to decide the order.
Okay.
But we'll see.
I genuinely might even think that's number 1. But we can We can talk
It would be
about
my
that later.
choice.
I think I would too. I think I'd have that number one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So all right. I think I know how to do this. It might take a bit longer, but we'll do it. Vanch, we're going to just basically go through each match and make the case for why it should be top 3.
Okay.
And if when we're trying to make the case, maybe when we're thinking about it, it's going to be like, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So why should Keys Sabalenka be top 3 in the Australian Open final? I mean, for me,
in the case, yeah.
Grand
Sorry, go
Slam
ahead.
final, down to
Yeah.
the wire, epic story that we were talking about for the whole season, and kind of redefined how we looked at players.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Plus the shot at 5-all, 30-all, and Sabalenka going for 3 in a row and Keys snatching it from her with amazing tennis. So that should definitely be considered. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pegula Eala Miami. My pitch would be iconic photo, end of iconic run, great underdog story, brilliant battle late into the night between two really athletic players who are great at redirecting and rallying. That would be my case for Pegula Eala being in the top 3.
Yeah, I would agree. Also really good battle of sort of experience, hardened experience against, I mean, like you were saying, also I think the celebration after winning, after losing from Eala was also one of the more memorable moments of the year. Because you don't often see a player do that after they lose a heartbreaking match, which I think just tells you that she absolutely left it all out there. So.
Yeah, you really don't. Swiatek versus Rybakina, RG. Season defining, maybe career defining for Iga Swiatek in terms of a win.
Yes,
what was
definitely
really
the biggest win as far as her getting her confidence back. You could argue that maybe she doesn't win Wimbledon with that win unless she comes back. The start of some good form after a long time. Down a set in a break against one of her biggest rivals for sure. Yeah. And
would that be your main? Anything else you want to add to the case for that being top 3?
No, and also just Swiatek Roland Garros, really tight match. I think.
Yeah, that's usually special, right? With the Osaka one last year as well.
Yeah.
Goff Sabalenka, for me, that would be big stage drama. Would be the case.
Mm-hmm. Big stage drama. Goff elevating herself by winning 2 majors, doing it for the second time in a row from a set down. The drama at the end, the kind of transcendent effect that match had, which had people talking about like Coco just becomes a bigger star, and I guess maybe the kind of post-match remarks from both players, I guess.
Yeah, the post-match
outside of tennis. So, yeah.
We're not considering Sabalenka Rybakina Berlin.
I don't think so.
But
yeah, I mean, incredible comeback from 6-2 down in the third set tiebreak, but in the larger context of everything that happened throughout the whole season, I don't think it has as much.
Okay, Anisimova Sabalenka Wimbledon, big stage underdog win. Anisimova arrives.
Yeah, this was the true, real arrival of Amanda on the big stage, making her first major final, and also, doing it against Sabalenka from a breakdown in the third. Some big, just like big drama and just confirmation that Anisimova can beat the best players in the world in the biggest stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say the case is for the Mboka Rybakina Montreal final?
I mean, just like amazing mental toughness for Mboka, to come back from match point down to do it yeah, and in the fashion that she did, this is like really truly where like a star was born, kind of. Even though, yeah, she did do the same in the final from a set down, but just in terms of third set tiebreak, the last two sets were as tight as they possibly could be. The first set felt tighter than a 6-1, even though she didn't win more games. But so I think that was big.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this out of order. What's your case for Fernandez Rybakina in DC? 3 tie breaks?
Just very rare to have a match with just 2 breaks of serve and 3 tie break sets. And just the resurgence from Fernandez, the best tennis we've seen her play since the US Open in 2021, and since her foot injury in 2022 Roland Garros, and just like really amazing drama throughout, and quality pretty high.
I'm just making some notes. Okay, case for Sabalenka Pegula, US Open.
Just the fact that this was just quality wise, just a really unbelievable level. Both players pushing each other to the hilt. The third set where do you ever see a third set where Pegula only loses 4 points on serve the entire set and ends up losing at 6-4? Like just absolutely brutal. But yeah, in terms of the contrast of styles for Pegula, how well she was able to redirect the adjustments that she's made after the US Open final last year and the other hardcourt matches, it was more in doubt this one, as far as the winner.
If this had been the US Open final last year, that would have very much been in contention for match of the year.
I agree.
Just because it was in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Aryna Sabalenka Osaka US Open. What's your pitch for that one?
Yeah, I mean, Aryna Sabalenka, first of all, backing up the Iga win and doing so against a really informed Naomi from a set down, and extremely mental and physical match. 2 tie breaks, really high quality hitting, really audacious on the big moments, and just like a high marquee match, trying to follow up a really good first semifinal. And they both basically delivered until Amanda got over the hump in the final game and got the crucial break. But until then, there was not much separating both of them. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anisimova Paulini. There's a theme here. There's a lot of Anisimova now. Anisimova Paulini in Beijing. What's your pitch for that?
Oh, I mean, just 2 or 3 really, really awesome high quality games in the third set, where just the contrast of Paulini's going from defense to offense, and Anisimova just belting the living daylights out of her backhand and saving all the break points. And it was the closest anyone got to beating Amanda that week, and route to her second 1,000 title. And I think it was even more memorable than her Doha win.
Yes, I think people often forget she went Doha. And then finally, Sabalenka Anisimova. I mean, we're getting to ones that I've actually watched live again, and for me, this was one that was. I think if you're gonna, this is like your dream match for if you love big hitting tennis.
Mm-hmm. For sure, the highest quality match of the WTA finals, and just really, really outrageous. I think the score 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. It makes it seem like it was just kind of one-way traffic for the winners in each of the sets, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Especially the first set was like 45-50 minutes, super long games. Like the first 5-6 games of that match were like half an hour, and it was just continued basically all the way through. I mean, just until about like 3-all, 4-3 in the third. So as far as any of the matches of the top 8 go, I think that was the clear winner.
I've gone out of order again. Last one, Pegula Sabalenka Wuhan.
Yeah, I mean, this was just an unbelievable comeback from Jessica Pegula to snap the 19-match tiebreak streak that Sabalenka was on. So that was really massive for her to get over the hump in what was a lot of close matches against Aryna, but not getting the win. And it was just a lot of really good tactical display from Pegula using the short slice, a lot of variation, really, really good big point play, and just like making a lot of adjustments. And Sabalenka was equal to it a lot of the times. It just that Pegula played a really, really awesome third set tiebreak, and it was
which is not. Yeah, she kind of beat Sabalenka on her turf, like in terms of location, because she's not lost at Wuhan, and in tiebreaks where she's been invincible more or less all year.
Yeah, so it was the combination of those two things, plus how the rivalry had gone the last 4 or 5 times too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm noticing something here. Is that the level of enthusiasm when talking about each of these matches? The one I've noticed you are most enthusiastic about is that Wuhan semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a lock for a top 3, but it's just like, I guess if I had to choose one between that and the US Open, because the US Open was much more serve dominated and this one just had a lot more, like it was just such a more roller coaster. I'm more of a roller coaster guy. So for me, the roller coaster will always just kind of end up winning unless it's just, you know what I mean?
I definitely also pick the roller coaster. Like between the two options, I'd go for Wuhan over the US Open. If we have to pick one Sabalenka Pegula match.
Yeah, if I had to choose one US Open, I'd actually go with the second semifinal. But if I had to choose one Pegula Sabalenka match, I'd go for the Wuhan. That makes sense.
That
so I'd go for the
helps.
Wuhan semifinal. Yeah, I think the Wuhan semifinal. I think you can eliminate the US Open semifinal because.
Yeah. Okay, that is out. So the Sabalenka Pegula US Open semifinal is out because it doesn't win against the other US Open semifinal. Doesn't win against the other Sabalenka.
Yeah, I think so.
The other Sabalenka match in Wuhan. So that actually helps. I actually think listening to this, I think we should also eliminate Anisimova Paolini because I think
so too. Yeah.
It comes down to a few games.
Yeah, I really wanted to give something to Amanda because she made 2 major finals and 2 1000s, and so of the 2 1000s that she won, this was the one standout match that I was like, oh wow, like really could not have been closer. But yeah, I'm happy to.
We still could. All right, let's make this even easier. We can only have one Anisimova Sabalenka match. Which are we picking?
So I think I will still go with Wimbledon, just because you know, as good as that WTA Finals semifinal was, Anisimova did run out of gas at the end, and it just wasn't quite as like I think doing it on the big stage like at Wimbledon from a breakdown against that version of Aryna, who was so hungry to get back into another major final, her 3rd in a row, and just like it was the biggest match that Anisimova won this year. I think like just to like in you know just like what that did in terms of her status. As far as the person who doesn't follow tennis week to week, Wimbledon just has that prestige, I think, over the WTA finals. So I will go with the Wimbledon one.
I would agree with you. I also think we should eliminate Fernandez Rybakina because I think
we can eliminate it. I'm good with
rarity of 3 tie breaks is good, but it's not like enough to make it win. So so actually we've eliminated a few. We know which one and we have one of the top 3, so that remains. That leaves 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches to fit into 2 spots.
Okay, so, that's more manageable now.
Yeah, 8 matches into 2 spots. And you know, you've got like again, if we were doing a top 10, I mean, you know, great, but we're not. So, let's see. Like, there's a lot of great moments here, in this mix, and all of them have reasons to be good. So I'm going to recap the list. Australian Open final, Keys Sabalenka. Miami semi-final, Pegula Eala. Roland Garros 4th round, Swiatek Rybakina. Roland Garros final, Goff Sabalenka. Wimbledon semi-final, Anisimova Sabalenka. Montreal semi-final, Mboko Rybakina. US Open semi-final, Anisimova Osaka. Wuhan semi-final, Pegula Sabalenka.
Yeah, this is such a great list. Wow.
And I don't think there's any one of them that's like jumping out as that has to be in there, right?
Yeah, that's what makes this really hard. Like other than, I feel like we both agree that Keys and Iga is going to be potentially number one, right?
Potentially, we're not deciding that. That's going to be decided off air.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the more I think about it, the Pegula Eala one, like as great as it was, I don't know if it quite lives up to the rest.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about
it. Should we put that as out? So number 9.
Yeah. Although actually, let's just go through it again. But
we're not necessarily going to rank them, but it's like,
yeah,
it's kind of its own category, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely a top 10 match, but I don't think it's a top 3.
Yeah, definitely top 10, not top 3. Yeah, I think this is like, I'm going to have to try and remember what I felt, and like, there's got to be I think this is where we've got this X factor of emotion in the mix as well. Like, what story gripped us the most? Because these are all really good matches for one reason or another. I appreciate there's probably some people who are screaming us going, why is Sabalenka Goff still in there? But
yeah, but I just think it had such a big effect on,
everything,
on the sport. Like, it just like how many new fans would have come in because of that win, and just like the buzz that it created. I feel like the buzz is important. Yeah, like more so than just the quality of the match, like the star quality appeal that it had. I think it's pretty noteworthy.
So I guess it's going to be like, which story grabbed us the most? And that's going to be not just the context of the match, but also how the match unfolded.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Gene Kerrick, by the way,
pick a Roland Garros match. Let's say we had to pick between Swiatek Rybakina and the final.
I picked them. Yeah, it's different reasons. I would pick the final as the biggest deal match.
Yeah.
That was like the highest profile match in terms of as a match.
Yeah.
Isolated. If we were just saying we don't know what round it was, we don't know who these players are. Swiatek Rybakina.
Yeah, I think just purely from the match and from the tactical standpoint, and I guess, yeah, like I would, but then also like the final just makes it, like, because it was a final and because it was the number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
it definitely adds a little more.
It does for me as well. I mean, so I did create a formula to try and work this out beforehand, which is a slightly different thing.
I'm also happy to leave them both on the list,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we could both put them in. So
we can eliminate it later.
If I look at, I'm just going to highlight. I'm just going to do some work on this. Hold on a sec. So I've got that. Yeah, actually, we've got all those. So I created a little bit of a formula. Like, I gave matches a score based on the status of players involved, the stage of the tournament, and then also like the kind of closest of the match. So like based on set score, because that's the only thing that you can kind of quantify. Because I noticed that when we talk about the greatest matches of all time, like, which we're not discussing here, but like a match of the year would then have to almost be filtering into that. You're looking, then the greatest matches are always ones between the 2 best players in the world that go the distance in a Grand Slam final. That's what we got with Sinkaraz at the men's side this year. That's why that one's the clear number 1. So if I was to go based on like stage of the tournament, players involved, and everything else like that, I'm just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then where's the 4th round of Roland Garros on this list? I already have it. So what am I missing from this? Mboko Pegula. It's somewhere on this list. Bear with me. I'm trying to figure out where I've written stuff down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. US Open semi-final. Try and find it. But like, if I'm going to do that, then your leading contenders in that scenario are the Roland Garros final, the Australian Open final, and the Wuhan semi-final. Maybe, yeah, also Wimbledon semi-final. Like they're all pretty high ranking. To be fair, for one reason or another, but you know that's always going to weight towards Grand Slam finals.
Yeah, it will.
It will weight towards Grand Slam finals.
Sometimes if there's a Masters final, that just is better than any of them. But the problem is in this case, the major matches at the US Open, Australian, like basically at all four, were just so good.
Yeah.
So kind of trumps the rest of it.
I didn't highlight it. That's why.
Well, I guess we already agreed that if we were to pick one between Sabalenka Keys and Swiatek Keys, we would go for Swiatek Keys.
That's the one that's winning on my system, I would say.
And so I kind of want to award it to another major than just give 2 to the Australian Open. You know what I mean? Just because, just so we can have a little more variety. But then,
yeah, I don't like having this variety for the sake of having variety. But it would, but then that top 3 would kind of cover across the whole year.
Yeah, we'll just tell the story a little bit more, but I see.
Yeah. Okay, so
okay, I guess let's do this between the AO final and the RG final. What would you pick? And then also the second question is between the Wimbledon semifinal and the US Open semifinal. Both Anisimova wins. Which one would you pick?
Okay, I know what I'm going.
Mboko Rybakina is kind of in its own separate category.
Yeah. We've got the. Yeah, well, don't forget also Wuhan as well.
Oh yeah, the Wuhan semifinal.
Okay. Honestly, the answer to your questions, I would pick for the Grand Slam finals, regardless of what my head is telling me in terms of the 1v2, Keys Sabalenka, because that was the match I felt the best after watching. Like, it's a purely emotional reaction of that Keys win was incredible. And
it's really
like,
hard to
wow moment for her. And I wouldn't say that like she's my favorite player, but I am a Madison Keys fan. And I have been for a while, and I was very pleased to see her succeed and pull off that comeback with like that double win. And the way she did it was impressive. For the semi-finals, I would pick the Wimbledon. As much as I watched the US Open one.
For me, that's a
and then I went back and I was like, I didn't see anything like grabbing me from that US Open final that I did about the Wimbledon one.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess we're eliminating the US Open semifinal?
I think we probably are. I think that's also the lowest one on my formula. Kirit is probably thinking, what on earth kind of taste in matches do these people have? So
the other thing is, I also really love the Wuhan semifinal. Like, I actually like as a match, I like the Wuhan semifinal a lot more than the Tauson, a lot more than Rybakina and Mboko.
Yeah, I think we should eliminate Mboko Rybakina.
Eliminate?
Remove. It's
not
gripping me in the same way.
Yeah, it's just not giving me the same feelings as these other matches. Just
no.
I feel almost just compelled to put it because of Mboko's amazing run, but I just
and it was a good match. It was a freaking good match.
It was.
This is the problem. We're trying to make a top 3, not a top 10.
Yeah.
If I had my way, I'd just do the top 10 in chronological order and not try to rank it. But okay. I think we're getting there. Are we gonna, by process of elimination, because we're not talking about it as much, do we also need to drop Swiatek Rybakina?
I think so. If we're doing a top 5, I would have a strong case at like number 5 or something, but I agree because we're doing a top 3.
Okay, we have 4 matches for 2 places. If we need to, we will do a public poll.
Yeah.
Keys Swiatek Australian Open, Goff Sabalenka RG, Aryna Sabalenka Wimbledon, Pegula Sabalenka Wuhan.
So one of those we know is going through for sure, right? We already, the Swiatek Keys.
Yes, that's locked in for top 3. This is trying to find the other 2 spots.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's try and do that. So maybe we should try and preempt something. If you were to put these 4 matches in a poll to the tennis fandom, or at least the people who follow us on Talking Tennis, which 2 would come first?
I think the Swiatek Keys would come.
Oh no, Swiatek Keys is in. This is to get the other 2 places.
So wait, say the 4 again. So you have you have the AO final, you have the
AO final, RG final, Wimbledon semi-final, Wuhan semi-final.
Okay. Yeah. I think it would be tight between the AO final and the RG final, but I think a lot of people would gravitate towards. Well, it really depends. Like, there's a lot of Coco Gauff fans, right?
Yeah.
And so it really depends. Like, what would you value more in terms of like second major?
You know what I've just noticed,
or like the first major for Keys, right? It like depends what you would value more. But I personally, between the 2, I would choose the AO final, just because of like just the like you said, the emotional aspect of it is just stronger for me with AO.
Okay. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but all 4 of these matches involve Sabalenka losing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I said this elsewhere on another podcast, but Sabalenka, no, I said this on Twitter as well. Like, Sabalenka really does define the quality of the field. Like,
yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's just, like she was the best player this year, but she also just had so many great rivals at the top, which makes this really good. So okay, I would say probably if I were to choose right now, AO semifinal number 2. I mean, sorry, AO semifinal number 1, AO final number 2, and then the 3rd place is just between the Wimbledon semifinal and the Wuhan semifinal.
Okay, so you want to remove Goff Sabalenka from consideration.
I think so. Unfortunately, what do you think?
I think it would be a head choice, not a heart choice.
Yeah.
And it has to be both.
Right.
It has to be both. Okay. And I think this is where we're getting into interesting situations here. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Head and heart are telling me to put Keys and Sabalenka Australian Open final in. Heart is telling me Anisimova Sabalenka. Head is telling me Pegula Sabalenka. And that's mostly because I didn't see Pegula Sabalenka live. So it doesn't have as much of an impact, whereas I watched all these others live. I also think that a lot of maybe the hype around Pegula Sabalenka and Wuhan is from the end of the match and not the whole match.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly the last 2 sets. 6-4, 7-6. But the other thing also about it that I'm thinking about now is that as a story, is it really that's like it's significant for Pegula, right? It was significant for Pegula to get that win, and it was significant because of how dominant Sabalenka has been in Wuhan and in tie breaks. So that was the significant part about it. But in terms, like, she didn't go on and win the tournament, right? She lost the final to Goff.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, it makes me question whether having it whether I'm maybe having it too high. Just because as a story,
sometimes a match is just that good, regardless of context.
like I know, regardless of context, the match was really, really brilliant. Like, I could not take my eyes off of it. Like, some of the tennis was outrageous.
Would you say that you couldn't take your eyes off all of these matches?
Yeah, for one way or the other, I really can. I think, and they all were, like, in terms of, I guess, like the most emotional would probably be like the majors. You know, the Wuhan semifinal was just like a great moment for Pegula, and I was happy for her. But
okay,
but it's not on the same level as the Wimbledon, Roland Garros, AO.
No.
So that's what's
maybe
but
that's
just
it.
If you just only look at the quality of tennis, like it was so good. But
yeah, but then it's good quality tennis in all of those.
Yes, but also like the RG final, I think wasn't always about just the quality. It was more about Goff's tenaciousness.
And that's probably what's stopping it. Like, Goff Sabalenka was never going to be the match of the year.
Yeah, like it was just too windy, and the conditions were just such, and the way these two play was just never going to be like an amazingly high quality. It was always going to be like Goff winning ugly and Sabalenka trying to hit through Goff's defense, right? So
okay. Yeah. Okay. So you had your reservations about Anisimova Sabalenka when I first brought it up as a lock-in. What were your reasons for that?
Like, I felt like it was a top 5 moment, but I did also think like the third set wasn't quite as, it didn't quite live up to the AO or I guess like as a story like the RG final did. But then for Anisimova, it was a really kind of standout moment. And if you were to pick one match of hers this year, it would be that. So I think I was pretty confident it would be top 5. I just wasn't sure about number 3. But now the more I think about it, the more I think it has a good case. Like, after all the eliminations, I would kind of just like, I mean, in a perfect world, I would kind of just want everything. Like, I mean, I kind of would just want, Sabalenka. I kind of would just go for number 1, Swiatek, Keys. Number 2, maybe the RG final, or maybe number 2 Wimbledon semifinal, and then number 3 RG. Like, then you'd have one from each of the 3 majors. But then, yeah, yeah, you can only pick.
There's a reason this stream's gone on longer than the ATP one.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so but that's an interesting one. Yeah, it's like, and like that's the thing. It depends on what kind of narrative you want to spin from the season as well when you pick your top 3. What do you think, Vance? Should we put this to the people?
I think we could. I'm curious to see what the people in the chat would say.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to say put it on a public poll, but we could just let the live chat right here.
I would also be happy just to do AO final number 2, Wimbledon semifinal number 3. Like, that would work for me.
That seems to be where we're leaning at the moment, to be fair.
I think that's what I would lean, yeah. And then unfortunately we'd have to leave out the RG final and the Wuhan semifinal. But
yeah, but they're all unfortunate. This is why, like, if we were doing a top 5, this would be easy.
Yes.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be easy. We took ages to get to a top 5.
I think top 10 would be easy, but top 5 not so much.
Well, I don't know. We took about 2 hours to get to a top 10.
Yeah. Really top 20, top 30 would be easy. Top 10 would be doable.
We got to a top 6.
Top 5 would be tough. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess put it to the people. I guess we can put these 5 to the people, and 2 of them have to go. But
okay. All right. Well, why don't we just do a bit of an experiment now, right? Before we put it to an official poll. There are 16 of you watching right now, and I know this because I can see it sort of behind the scenes. 15 on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. Would love to hear all of your thoughts. Keys and Swiatek is going to be in the top 3, regardless. That is non-negotiable. From Keys, Sabalenka in the Australian Open final, Goff Sabalenka RG final, Anisimova Sabalenka Wimbledon semi-final, or Pegula Sabalenka Wuhan semi-final. Which one would you most want to see in the top 3? Please put it in now. So I think we're seeing some people. I think Maitland is going to go for the Goff Sabalenka RG final, or maybe even the Australian Open final. Definitely one of the Grand Slam finals, but based on what I'm seeing so far from them. I'm curious to see.
I would also be. I would also, just for confusion, like I guess you can remove the Pegula one.
You want to get rid of Pegula?
Pegula, Sabalenka, Wuhan semifinal. Maybe
get rid of Pegula, Wuhan. Just focus on the slams. Cool. Yeah, don't worry. I'd like, unless we get swamped with Wuhan, then we can take it out and make it 5th.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking 1,000 semifinal versus major semifinals and finals, and
I mean sometimes a 1,000 semifinal is that good.
I agree. That's what makes it hard.
Sometimes it does make it hard. I mean, if I was to I think I've got the same sort of top 4, as it were. I think Anisimova Sabalenka kind of gets in because it's like a story.
I think so.
Okay.
I think Wimbledon. I think Wimbledon semifinal. Yeah.
Wimbledon.
And then
I think Anisimova Sabalenka.
And then I think the AO final over the RG final. Yeah.
Joanna's going for Anisimova. Jean's going for Anisimova Sabalenka.
Yeah. So I think I would be happy with number 1 AO semifinal, number 2 AO final, number 3 Wimbledon semifinal.
Wimbledon semifinal. Okay. That has to be top 3. That Wimbledon semi-final, and then we're going for the Australian Open final over the RG final.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
All right. Watch John throw our choices out. He's not here. He's not watching right now. He'll watch this back. I don't know if he's going to watch the whole 2.5 hours back.
I mean, really, Gil Gross actually saved us 2.5 hours because we did all this work and we came to the same conclusion.
Picked the same ones.
But I mean, it was difficult. But
we can disagree with Gil Gross. And I had to really think about it.
Yeah.
I think I know. I appreciate. Obviously, it sounds like you were doing a lot of the work here, Vanch. But I'm kind of going with. I don't know, but I honestly would say I'm happy with that top 3 because I couldn't choose between that and the RG final. But I was very much set on having I think if you'd come down to me as a tiebreaker, I would put the AO final in. And
I think I would too.
The people have spoken with the Wimbledon semi-final. And I think, this is it. These are all such good matches. I'm a little disappointed that you dismissed Sabalenka Rybakina so quickly. I'm joking. But I love those matches. So I did love that match as well. Yeah, it's tough. It is a tough one.
It was not easy to let that one go, the Berlin semifinal, but Berlin quarterfinal, really. But
but that's like fringes of top 10 kind of.
Yeah. It's just that there were so many other good matches that it was just
that's in the battle for top 10. It was never going to be the battle for top 3. I think you were right. And I think the US Open semifinals were good, but they probably weren't they didn't really grab me in the same way. And again, it's affected by what we watched live as well.
It really is, yeah. And I knew as soon as the Australian Open finished, it was going to be really, really, really hard for anything to come close to that feeling of Keys winning the title. It's just, that is what I will remember from 2025, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Keys against. So Keys Sabalenka, Australian Open final is in. Anisimova Sabalenka, Wimbledon semi-finals in. Keys Swiatek, Australian Open semi-final, top 3. Happy with that?
Yes, I think so.
I am as well, 100%. There's part of me that wanted to put Goff Sabalenka in to make a point, but I think I'm happy with it being 4th.
I think so. I think number 4 is a good spot for it. Yeah.
I think if we were going to do a top 5, it would be 4, and the Wuhan semi-final would be 5.
Yeah, I think so. I like that. I like the top 5 actually. Yeah.
All right. I better let John know what we decided. Vanch, thank you for spending 2.5 hours on a live stream with me to do this.
I know. It was so much fun, and also the Mario for the first half.
Yeah, Mario. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, he left an hour ago.
Yeah.
what
But
a
it was
moment.
it was fun to just relive the whole season. I think this was a great exercise for that.
And it was breakneck pace for some of it. Like, oh, that was a good match. That was a good match. That was a good match. But we really do have that. Really do. But like, you know, just because we were kind of going, oh, that was good, and then moving on, doesn't necessarily mean we didn't appreciate it.
Agreed.
I guess I better break out a 2026 spreadsheet. Okay. Audience, thank you so much for joining as well and for throwing your thoughts into this and making this fun as well. What is the order of the top three? TBD. If Keys Sabalenka, if Keys Swiatek is not number one, then we weren't consulted. But or the rest of the Talking Tennis crew outvoted us. But we will see what happens. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks for coming on, Vanch. If this is new, your first experience of us, hopefully you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and join us and keep an eye on the channel for the top pre-recorded breakdowns of the top 3 ATP and top 3 WTA matches of the year, each with its own individual video to look forward to. I think we're looking forward to that. Vanch, what were the top 3 ATP ones? Not necessarily. I think obviously was it the Roland Garros final, Medvedev losing to Lenartien, and
the Madrid final between Draper and Ruud. Yeah.
So you got to look for those at 40, and then you've got our breakdowns of Keys Swiatek, Keys Sabalenka, and Anisimova Sabalenka to look forward to. So I hope you enjoying that one, Joanna. We think so, but we'll see.
We both think so. Actually, the three of us pretty much came to that conclusion 2 hours ago. But we'll see.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. We will see you soon, and see you on one of those pre-recorded videos or in 2026. In the meantime, take care and keep talking tennis.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.